So why do men no longer come up to women? I asked this in a TikTok last week and it got so many comments, especially from men. And I just want to preface this with this was no shade to men. This post was no shade to men, and neither is this one. I was just genuinely curious and asking. I love men. I think they're awesome. And I think that they're a little confused right now. But most of the responses said something like, we were told not to go up to you guys, and we were told that you want to be left alone and you just want your own space and you don't want us approaching you. Which for some women, that can absolutely be true. But I love meeting people in person. And I just think that it takes a confident person to go up to someone when you see them in person. And I think it's a really cool way to meet people rather than meeting people online. And we're also saying things like they were called creeps and weirdos, and they don't want to be called that. It's not a pleasant experience. But I will say that it has to do with how you approach a woman. Like, for example, myself and my friends have had men come up to us with a really, really intense energy, like a very in-your-face energy, and they're really nervous and they're kind of scattered and they're very pushy or weird, and their energy is just off. And one of the most attractive things to a woman is emotional intelligence. And that shows within like the first few seconds of meeting someone when they introduce themselves to you. So if you're going to go up to a woman, just like take a calm, deep breath. If you see a woman working on her laptop or something at a cafe, you can go up to her and be like, hey, my name is so-and-so. I thought you were really beautiful and you seem interesting. I would love to get to know you more if you're interested. And then slipping her your number on a napkin or something, you know? Like just coming up to women with a calm energy and not giving off this like needy energy or this like pushy energy. I think that is what women don't like. I think it's really sweet and cute to be approached in person. And I know that there's a lot of women like me. There's probably some women out there who don't want to be approached, and that's fine. And it's hard to tell who's who. But I think you can tell when you go up to a girl kind of right away if she'd be interested or not based on her body language, and just be calm and natural and don't overthink it.
All right, let's get into this video. I got my white girl coffee with me, but she starts off this video by saying, you know, oh my God, why don't men approach? They should approach. A brave man approaches. All this goofy shit that she was talking about, right? I'm going to give you guys the real reason why men don't approach. All right, I'll tell you guys the real reason, right? Not no bullshit, not no guesstimations, the actual fucking reason. Like she said, she was saying men don't approach the man she wants, you know, to approach her, don't approach her. Here's the reality of it. Women want men that don't need to approach. That's who they want to approach. They want the prototypical guy that already got a bunch of options, or the married guy that is already married, right, to approach them. That's what they really want. They want the sought after guy to approach them. However, those sought after dudes don't even have to approach, because guess what? Women don't run away from, you know, dudes that they actually want. So a lot of times when you guys are approaching chicks and they're like running away from you, that just means they don't want you. That's all it fucking means. All right. I've personally never seen a chick run away from a dude that she's attracted to or make him chase. It doesn't exist, right? It just doesn't happen. Like, a chick is not gonna make you chase if she's attracted. Now, to the next level, in reality, when a woman really, really wants you, what she's gonna do is she's gonna do the Chris Brown shit. She's gonna initiate everything. Like, you guys see the Chris Brown concerts, all the chicks going, spending the last dollar that they have to go take pictures with him and shit like that, because that's genuine interest. Now, that's extreme. He's a celebrity, I know. But when you get on this, you know, this body game shit and you start to experience genuine desire, you're going to notice that shit's going to start happening to you. All right. And when that shit starts happening to you, you can never go back. For example, for me, back in the day, my boy was like, yo, you got to approach, you got to approach. I was cooked. So, you know, that was probably my best chance to approach and use some mouthpiece. But I was so cooked. Chicks were like, I'll give him a chance, but maybe he has potential, but he's not at the finish line. You see what I'm saying? When you're at the finish line, chicks are going to approach you. You're going to have hella options. You're not going to be worried about approaching. For example, let me give you an example. Today, right, I got hella choosing signals. Now, I was at Starbucks, and I ain't going to lie, bro, that was a baddie. She was staring at me. But at the same time, you know, some chick with like 200K followers, 10 out of 10, just hit me up. Hella chicks been hitting me up and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, literally just messaging me. I got a bunch of baddies in the DMs and shit like that. It's like, I can't even handle the baddies in the DM. Like, I don't even have time for the baddies in the DM. So I'm not going to approach this chick and then have her come on board too. Like, I don't need to do that shit. You see what I'm saying? Like, the only people who approach are dudes who have, you know, I'm not going to say that's the only people who approach, but majority of the time, dudes approaching don't have a lot of options, and they have to do that because they're not working on themselves. Right? In certain situations. Obviously, if you're fit and you're working on yourself and you approach, you don't even have issues, right? You don't have issues. You get who you want. But a lot of times, chicks like this chick in this video, right? She's not what people are after anyways. You know what I mean? Like, she's okay, obviously, but she's not like what the prototypical Chad or Tyrone is after 24/7. Like, oh shit, I need her right now type shit. But at the same time, like I said, for me, my brothers, my friends, the amount of, like, you guys, a lot of you guys don't understand online game. You guys just don't understand it. Like, at the end of the day, like she said, a lot of people are meeting online. Like, You guys don't understand the extent to it. Because here's the thing: you can post one picture. Or I got a couple of pictures getting like 400, 500K impressions right now. That's going to reach, you know, hundreds of thousands of people, right? And wherever I tag it. So there's just going to be a lot of DMs and a lot of follows from, you know, people who are interested. It's going to be some baddies, if you feel what I'm saying. But overall, it's just going to be a lot of options. It's going to be a lot of optionality that I can't get from approaching in person. It's just not going to happen. Now, this is not to say if you see a chick you're attracted to in person and you don't have any options, or she looks better than your options, or she's really your type, or she's choosing you, go ahead and approach. I'm not saying don't do that. I'm just saying men aren't going out of their way to approach because they're starting to see like, hey, Chad and Tyrone don't approach. Hey, Luther and his friends don't approach. Hey, Luther and his brothers don't approach. Like, why am I approaching? You should see what I'm saying? Because a lot of times, like I said, I used to do this shit where I approached, got rejected, used to get blocked for DMing chicks first, and now I'm getting DM first because guess what? I worked on myself, right? Improved my finances, improved my health, improved my look, right? I just worked on myself. Once you do that, you are going to elevate yourself. You'll be at the finish line. And that's where chicks choose first. All right. So all this, oh my God, I want to, you know, the guys need to approach me. A lot of that, they just want validation to boost their confidence, to be honest. Because girls love to reject dudes to boost their confidence. That's another thing that they like to do. You know, just like reject dudes to boost their confidence and shit. But like in reality, we all know, we all have those friends, or you've always seen those friends that are in shape and they've always had chicks and they've never had a problem with chicks, and chicks are always approaching them. That's the reality, guys. Like for real. Another reason I tell you guys to get on this body game shit is because you guys, hey, not me. You guys complain about relationships and chicks and no choosing signals, all this shit. It just means you're not on body game. Because when you are, bro, you're gonna, like, I see those of you guys who are in the comments, you know, talking your shit and be like, yeah, man, I leveled up and now this is happening. Because that's the reality of it. Shit gets better when you get in shape. It is what it is. It's rare. All right. But a lot of times if someone has like a bad hairline, bad teeth, or, you know, cooked appearance because they don't take care of themselves, and then they have a bad physique, then they approach a chick's gonna be offended. All right, they're gonna be offended. They'll be like, and then they're gonna go and make a video like they make, like, oh my God, I can't believe this guy approached me, or blah blah blah. And then another thing is, chicks are gonna nitpick when you're not their type. Like she said in the video, she was saying, you know, the way guys approach her, criticizing the way guys approach her. That just means she wasn't interested in the first place. All right, period. Talking about they're too intense or this and that. If the dude was her exact type and he was too intense, she'd be like, oh my God, he's aggressive, I love it. Or if he was too sweet, she'd be like, oh my God, he's sweet, he's a gentleman, I like it. That's how she would be. She's just not interested in people who are approaching her. All right, so anytime chicks make these videos, they always put in the silver lining. Like, you have to read between the lines, because it always starts off good. It always starts off good where they're like, why are men approaching? And you're like, yeah, we should approach. And then they start to go into it, and what they're really saying is, when you read between the lines, is the guys that I want, that are successful, fit, have their shit together, and have options, don't approach me. Duh, because they fucking have options. It's like, it's not rocket science. I'm telling you guys. I mean, link is in the description for the Patreon, by the way, so I can put y'all on some more game with all this shit. But I'm telling you guys, once you like master the online game shit, you're literally gonna have, like, I'm not saying false options, because some people are like, hey man, like, a lot of people think they have, you know, real options, but it's not, bro. Actual options. I'm talking about like 100 actual fucking options. Like right now, I probably have like 100 actual options that I can exercise. It's not like, oh, it just seems like it. Now it seems like I have like 10,000, 20,000, but in reality, I have like at least 100 that I can exercise. But obviously, I ain't got time for all this shit. But I'm just saying, like, that's the optionality that you get once you get in that abundance mindset and you get out of scarcity. I said it right. All right, you guys like when I say it like that? I'm gonna go back to saying scarcity because it sounds better. When you get out of scarcity and you get into abundance, all right, you will realize that, holy shit, like, I wasted so much time chasing this chick and chasing that chick. Because at the end of the day, man, at the end of the day, when a chick initiates shit with you, when a woman initiates with you and she chases you and all that stuff, it's going to be better energy. It's going to be better dynamic. It's going to be way less stressful. You see what I'm saying? And generally, when you know, master the online game shit, you see what I'm saying? Or you have a rotation anyways, you're going to have different energy when you're in public. And then women will initiate if you're their type. You see what I'm saying? Like, they're going to do, here's the thing. If they actually don't approach you, which, you know, like I said, I've had women approach me, but if they don't approach you, they are going to absolutely stare you down until you're uncomfortable. Like the girl at Starbucks today was staring me down. Literally, I was like, you know what? I'm getting a little bit uncomfortable here. But like I said, the amount of just options you get when you level up, it's going to shock you. It's going to shock you. Like, it just will. like realistically, if I were to be completely honest with you guys, I do feel like I'm gatekeeping. Every time I talk about this body game shit, I still feel like I'm gatekeeping because you guys don't understand the extent to it. You guys think it's just like, dang, bro, wow, man, I might look up, I might level up a point or two on the scale. Nah, nigga, you're gonna go from invisible to like not visible, bro. You're not gonna go from invisible to visible. You're gonna go from invisible to celebrity status, bro. Like that's a huge difference. Like I said, it's gonna shock you. It's way fucking different. It's like if I were to screenshot my DMs on TikTok, Instagram, other TikTok, like y'all would be like, what the fuck is going on? Like, what did you say in your story you're giving out free money or some shit like that? Why are you getting so many DMs? Like that's how it is when you're in shape and you're rare. Cause like I said, when you get the haircuts, when you get in shape, when you get leaner, your face gets better. You guys saw how I looked when I was fat. My face was cooked. Yes, I had more pimples and shit like that. Even when I was skinny, I just looked like that. You see what I'm saying? But now, put on some muscle. You feel what I'm saying? Make sure you take care of your health, eat what you're supposed to, get the right amount of vitamins and minerals, and you're going to start to look better. You're gonna look like a celebrity, right? So like I said, like I literally have a chick trying to link, chicks always trying to link up on first dates and shit like that. It'd be like, oh, we don't have to go to dinner. I'll just come over. This is that, like stuff like that. That's not gonna happen. They don't give that same treatment to the average Jew. They're just not doing it. All right, they're just not doing it. Now, I know that there's those dudes that say, the stuff like, oh, body game's not that much. You're not in shape, bro. And that's why you're saying that shit. All right. I'm just telling you guys the truth. But in reality, like I said, the reason men aren't approaching is because they're looking around and they're like, okay, first of all, why do I have to chase this chick just to pay her bills and to pay for dates? Because best believe you're going to be paying bills and paying for dates if you're not attracted to her. Like, if she doesn't think you're attractive, you're going to be doing more. So dudes know that if a chick isn't choosing, right, they're becoming more self-aware. If a woman isn't choosing, if she's not giving them choosing signals, she's not interested. If she's making him chase, she's not interested, which means he's gonna have to pay her bills and do a bunch of shit. Versus there could be another guy where she's just like, yeah, oh my god, like hitting him up first, and then she wants to go over to his place and shit like that. All right, so it's that simple. Like with TikTok and all this other stuff, like people are starting to realize, like, hey man, when a chick wants someone, she's gonna choose him, she's gonna chase him, all that shit, because women chase who they want, and they don't run from who they want. So if you're chasing, that just means she doesn't want to. All right. Like I said, I can chase some chicks, and then if they run, you know what I mean. I'm like, okay, cool, keep running. I'm just gonna stop chasing it. I'll go chase another chick or some shit like that. You see what I'm saying? But generally, I don't even have to do that anymore. It's just they reach out to you first because they're interested. It's just how it works. And just like I said with the online shit, like y'all don't understand the extent of the online shit. It's 2025, so it's been not 10 years yet, but it's been about nine years since I've been, doing the online game. And for the first 4 years, people are like, what are you doing, bro? Like, what are you doing? That's so weird. And I was just, bro, just like you reach so many more people, right? And the thing is, if you're one of those people that are like, no, I prefer to meet a girl in person. I would never, meet someone online. It's not right. That's cool. But, the chicks that you're meeting in person, they're still going to be online looking for the, the highest option. But if you're online as a dude, and I'm not talking about serious relationships and shit like that, you know what I mean? But I'm just saying, if you're online as a dude, you're going to get the most reach. This is going to be ridiculous, right? But I can go into an online game for like that. That's like a 3 hour, at least. I got to make like a 3 hour masterclass because there's so much that goes into it that like people don't understand. Because people be downplaying it. They'll be like, yeah. No, you don't understand. You don't understand that literally, you might have 5 chicks interested in you, right? And then you post something. You go viral, you start getting followers, and then literally the next day you have 100 chicks, interested in you and like really trying to link type shit. And there's some baddies type shit. You feel me? Like that, and that shit's not gonna happen. Because like I said, they're chasing you. It's not the same as if you're chasing chicks in person or approaching chicks in person. It's way different because you have the leverage. They don't have the leverage. They're chasing you, and they'll be in your comments too. And if they're in your comments or they see people in your comments, all right, because a lot of baddies, they'll just DM you. They won't comment. But if they see girls in your comments, they're gonna be like, fuck, I gotta chase this guy. They'll chase you type shit, which is something they're not gonna always do, depending on the social situation. Obviously, if you're in a frat or if, you got clout at the club or some shit like that, then yeah, they'll chase you. But it's just like a lot of people just don't know. All right, but yeah, that's the reality of it. Men aren't approaching because they realize that, you don't have to chase the woman that actually wants you. And if you chase a bill, right, you're just gonna keep having to pay that bill to keep it. See what I'm saying? Literally, and it's the craziest idea of all time. But guys have seen enough out here to know They get the best treatment when, you know, the feeling is mutual, when they're not doing so much chasing. Now, you can pursue for a little bit, but like chasing just means that, you know, she's running away. And guys just know that's a waste of fucking time.